It was supposed to be one night. I never said he could stay forever. Honestly, the date went really well. Like, suspiciously well. He was funny, charming in that quiet way that doesn't feel performative, and actually listened when I talked. No weird comments, no red flags. He paid for dinner, walked me to my car, didn't make a move too early. Basically a unicorn in the modern dating pool. So when he asked if I wanted to keep hanging out, maybe watch something at my place, I said yes. It felt easy, safe. We got back to my apartment, picked a movie, didn't finish it. One thing led to another. You know how it goes. He stayed the night. Totally normal. The next morning I woke up groggy, expecting him to already be up and getting dressed. But he was still, in bed, scrolling through his phone like he belonged there. I offered coffee. He said yes. We talked a little. I figured he'd leave after breakfast. He didn't. Said it was so nice not to rush anything, and that the vibe between us felt so natural. I smiled, flattered, still in that warm, fuzzy first date glow. He stayed until noon, then 2, then 5. When I hinted that I had errands, he said, "No worries, I'll just hang here until you get back." Like we'd been together for weeks, like my apartment was his home base. I laughed it off, told him I'd rather just do things solo for the day. He smiled, didn't argue, but didn't leave either. That night, he was still there, still hadn't left. Ordered us Thai food, said it was his treat, kissed my forehead like it was the most natural thing in the world. And I remember thinking, maybe this is just one of those whirlwind things. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But by day 3, I wasn't. Because his toothbrush was next to mine. His charger was plugged into my wall. His socks were on my floor. And when I asked him gently, "Hey, are you planning to head home soon?" he just chuckled and said, "Home? This is home now. If I leave, you'll miss me too much." Click. He locked the front door. I didn't say anything at first, because how do you respond to something that feels like a joke but isn't funny? He stood there, smiling like always, like the guy I'd met on that first night, but something in his eyes had gone still, like he was waiting to see if I'd push back, like he wanted to see what I'd do with the smallest taste of pressure. I asked why he locked it. He said, "Habit. I always lock doors when I care about someone." I nodded slowly, said, "Okay, can you unlock it?" He didn't answer, just leaned in, kissed my forehead again, and walked back to the couch. That night, I didn't sleep. Not well anyway. I heard him moving around while I was in bed, opening drawers, making himself tea, singing low to himself. Just enough noise to remind me he was there. Just enough presence to keep me from feeling like I had space to breathe. And when I woke up, he was already in the kitchen, making breakfast. Again. Like it was his kitchen, like he'd always been here. I asked again, calmly, when was he planning to head home? He looked hurt, legitimately hurt. I thought we were past that. Why are you acting so distant all of a sudden? I told him I just needed space, that things were moving too fast, that it wasn't personal. He nodded slowly, took a bite of toast, then said, "This is just fear. You're scared of love. I've dated girls like you before." The next morning, I woke up to find all the towels in the bathroom had been washed and folded. My dishes were clean, my trash had been taken out, and in my closet, 3 of his shirts, hanging next to mine. Not in a bag, not folded, hung, like he'd just moved in, without asking, without ever saying it. When I confronted him, when I said, "Hey, this isn't working, I need you to leave," his smile dropped, just disappeared. His face went blank. He stood there, arms crossed, and said, "I've told my mom about you, my friends. They're expecting to meet you. You can't just disappear now. That would mess with people." I told him I wasn't responsible for his plans, that I never agreed to anything, that I was allowed to end this. And he said, "No, you're allowed to pretend this was casual. But I know better. I felt it. I tried to get help, tried to loop in friends, But it was too early, too subtle. No screaming, no violence, no keying my car. Just a guy who brought dinner, took out the trash, folded laundry, smiled too much, stayed too long. So no one really saw the problem, except me. And by the time they did, he had a key. I never gave him one. I don't know when he made the copy, but he used it. 2 days after I finally got him to leave, after I packed his things into a bag and changed the locks, I came home from work, and the bag was gone from the porch. My fridge was restocked, and the TV was paused on the show we used to watch together. He wasn't there, but he'd been there. I don't know if it was a parting gift, but I haven't seen him since. Of course, I changed the locks, remained paranoid for weeks, but I'm finally feeling a sense of normalcy and realize I dodged a massive bullet. We met on Bumble. He was one of those rare profiles that didn't feel fake or overly curated. Just a few decent photos, a line about loving jazz, and a prompt answer that said "Do know we vibe" if I could hold eye contact while telling my worst dating story. He was charming in a dry, sarcastic way that made me feel like I was the only one getting the joke. First date was coffee. Low pressure, quick. Second was a walk through a local art fair where he remembered I liked horror movies and bought me a vintage poster from a vendor without making it weird. The third, dinner. Somewhere dim, warm, with tablecloths and quiet jazz and the kind of lighting that makes you feel like you were in a memory. He picked the restaurant, corner booth. Already had a glass of wine waiting for me when I arrived. The moment I sat down, I could feel it. The rhythm was effortless. He was asking questions, listening, actually laughing, not the performative kind. It didn't feel like a date. It felt like something I should have already been a part of. Familiar. Safe. We ordered shared plates. Something with roasted figs and cheese I couldn't pronounce. He told me about his time living abroad, teaching English, getting mugged by a monkey in Bali. I told him about my sister's wedding disaster involving a vegan cake and an accidental meat layer. We were leaning in, that slow magnetic pull of connection happening in real time. Halfway through the second glass of wine, he set down his fork, looked at me a little too long, and said it. "There's something I should tell you." He said it softly, like it wasn't the first time he'd said it to someone. I froze slightly, bracing. You always brace when someone says that on a third date. You expect the usual, "I'm not ready for a relationship, I just got out of something serious, I'm moving next month." But he said, "I'm married." I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it felt like a punchline to a joke I didn't hear. He smiled gently and gestured behind me. "She's right over there." I turned. Slowly. Corner table. 2 rows behind us. A woman, early 30s, sleek black dress, minimal makeup, elegant. She was watching us, smiling. Not the shocked or bitter or betrayed smile you'd expect from a wife, watching her husband take someone else out. It was warm, open, like she knew me, like she'd picked the dress I was wearing. I turned back to him. "We like to share," he said, as casually as if he were offering to split dessert. I stared. Wait. What?" "Don't be weird about it," he said, chuckling. "You said you were into honesty. This is me being honest. Most people wait until after. I figured you'd appreciate knowing now." I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. Because there wasn't a trace of shame. No hint of manipulation or pressure. Just certainty. "She really likes you," he added, like that was supposed to help. I glanced back again. The woman gave me a small wave, a genuine one. The waiter came over then, asking about dessert. I said no thank you, trying to keep my voice level. He looked between us, probably thinking we were just another couple in the middle of a tense conversation. But there was no tension. Just me, realizing I wasn't on a date. I was being vetted. I told him I had to go. He didn't stop me. "No worries," he said, setting his napkin down. "Some people take a little longer to warm up to it." I stood, heart pounding, legs slightly numb. Walked out. Didn't look back. But as I passed the window on the way to my car, I caught a glimpse. They were clinking glasses, like the date hadn't ended, like I just stepped away for a moment, like they were already picking who to invite next. I didn't sleep that night. Not because I thought they were going to follow me home or show up at my door. Nothing about them felt violent. Just organized. Too polished. Too smooth. Like they'd done this before. I kept replaying everything he'd said, the timing of it, how casually it was dropped in, like he'd practiced, like that was part of the thrill. I didn't block his number right away. I don't know why. Part of me just wanted to see what would happen next. The next afternoon, I got a text. Hey, no pressure. Just wanted to say thanks for being open to the conversation. Not everyone gets it, and that's okay. You're really special. I hope we can talk again sometime. I didn't respond. 2 days later, a new number texted me. This time it was her. Hi, I know that probably felt weird, and I get it. But just so you know, he wasn't faking anything. That's really him. That's how he is with me too. We don't do jealousy. We do honesty. Then she sent a picture. It was of their living room, cozy, neutral tones. A dog curled up in the corner, 2 wine glasses on the coffee table. My Bumble profile photo was on the TV screen, paused mid-swipe. Just wanted you to know, you weren't random. That's when I blocked both numbers. I could not get with whatever weird scenario they were trying to include me in. I don't date married men. Ever. No matter how into it the wife is. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling tales.